Alrighty, let's check out the bear's power in this first video. I start off with the Dusknoir, my opponent starts off with the Darkrai. Knowing he could outspeed and threatens big damage, I switch into the Pig, but he makes a great play, goes for the substitute. With his Beanbag up, he starts thinking some nasty thoughts, gets that boost. I go for the Double Edge, break the sub. The little Oink's about to get a chance to show off his power right here as Darkrai goes for the Dark Pulse. Even with the crit, he just hangs on. Retaliate with the Double Edge, Darkrai lives with just 14%. Unfortunately, this spells the end for Oinkling here as he goes for the Dark Pulse, takes out the Pig. That's okay though, this sets up the MVP of the battle, the Beartic, who's able to go for the Aqua Jet and take out the Darkrai with the crit. After I tie things up, my opponent goes into the Feraligatr, he starts dancing with the swords. I think it's a pretty good idea, I dance with my own swords. Feraligatr then goes for the Terra Dart, trying to get the boost on the Crunchy with Beartic, just survives, goes for the close combat, takes out the Feraligatr. After I take a slight lead, my opponent then goes to the Toxic Croak. Knowing he could easily KO the Beartic, I go into my Dusknoir as he goes for the Gunk Shot, which I tank no problem. On the next turn, he starts dancing with those swords right in front of my face, gets those boosts. Thankfully, I pack the Earthquake, get that huge damage. I try to follow it up with a Shadow Sneak, but Toxic Croak just hangs on, goes for the knockoff, takes out my Dusknoir. But thankfully, it goes down to that Life Orb recoil. After the double down, my opponent then goes into the Chansey as I reveal my Iron Leaves, go for the close combat, take him out in one shot. My opponent's next Pokemon is the Bombirdier. I'm able to outspeed, go for the close combat, get some good damage, but with all those defense lower, the knockoff comes in, takes out my Iron Leaves. That's okay though, because in comes the Hisui Arcanine to get some revenge. Able to outspeed, I completely whiff the Head Smash, he goes for the Stone Edge, completely whiffs too. On the next turn, I'm able to connect with the Flare Blitz, take out the Bombirdier. My opponent then goes into their last Pokemon, the Galarian Zapdos, goes for the close combat, Arcanine just hangs on. I retaliate with the Flare Blitz, do some great damage, but Zapdos just hangs on, goes for another close combat, takes out Arcanine. I then go back into the star of the show, the Beartic, go for the Aqua Jet, take out the Zapdos. Good game. Alright, let's check out Shaymin's power in this game. I start with the Hedgehog himself, my opponent starts with the Sandaconda. My opponent immediately switches into the Star Raptor as I make a nice play and go for the substitute. After getting some lefties back, I'm able to outspeed, go for the Air Slash, get some good damage, and the Lucky Flinch. I decide to follow up the Flinch with some Leech Seed, get that passive damage going, but my opponent makes a good play, goes for the U-turn, uses it to pivot into the Dunsparce. On the next turn, I'm able to outspeed, go for the sub, get the Beanbag up, my opponent starts calming his thoughts, gets those boosts. Safe behind the Beanbag, I decided to set up some Leech Seed as Dunsparce keeps calming those thoughts. Unfortunately for them, Shaymin does not care how calm you are, fires off the Sea Flare, gets some good damage and the special defense lower. Despite all that, Dunsparce goes for the Roost, gets all of his health back. I decide to mix things up, go for the Air Slash, hopefully get some flinch, which I thankfully get. Unfortunately though, I realize I need the damage and the special defense lower of the Sea Flare, so I fire off another one, get some good damage, but he roosts all the health back. I then fire off another Sea Flare, get some good damage, get another special defense lower. They fire off the Boom Burst, get some huge damage, but go right past the substitute. Meanwhile, that Leech Seed gave me that passive recovery. I then go for another Air Slash, take out the Dunsparce. My opponent then goes back into the Star Raptor. Able to outspeed, I fire off the Air Slash, get some good damage. They go for the U-turn, use it to pivot into the Magearna. Since my strategy's been working so good, I decided to set up another substitute. Magearna fires off the Floor Cannon, breaks the sub, but gets that special attack lower. My opponent then forfeits. Good game. Alrighty, and that's the video. Please let me know what you guys think down below and stay tuned for future content. Peace.